as well as we have seen the concept of the handles. Now you just see, as we have seen the stack implementation of the shift reduce parsers. Already I have discussed these things and I have sent you a picture regarding these things also. There is 4 possible actions of a shift reduce parser are shift. There is the next input symbol is shifted in the top of the stack. Now reduce, that is replace the handle on the top of the stack by the non-terminal, followed by the accept, that is successful completion of the parsing, and error. That means parser discovers some syntax error and calls an error recovery routine. Initially, when you start do the parsing, initial stack just contains only the end of the marker dollar, that means string, end of the string marker dollar, and end of the input string is also marked by the end of the marker dollar. That means stack contains nothing. It will be symbolized with the help of the dollar symbol, and also the end of the string means also dollar. Now, what may be the problem in case of shift reduce parsing with a stack? There may be 2 problems. One is the locating a handle and decide which production to use if there are more than 2 candidate productions. If there are 2 candidate productions. And that is the things I'm telling you, these things also, second one. And in case of this is mainly occurs at the ambiguous grammars. That means decide which production to use. What are the general constructions for these things? Using a stack, shift input symbol into the stack until a handle is found on the top of it, and reduced the handle to the corresponding non-terminal. Also other operation we have seen accept and error. Now you just see here. Initially, stack contains nothing. End of string marker, string contains nothing, that is empty symbols symbolized as dollar, and this is the end of string marker. Now shift your first input symbols in the stack. Now as ID is a handle, you just see, because what are we doing? We are using these production rules. We are using these production rules. These production rules we are using. Now, as ID is your handle, what are you doing? ID will be shifted by, or ID will be reduced. ID will be reduced by the non-terminal, corresponding non-terminal, that is F. Now, and F will be reduced by T. That is, we are getting after first step, second step, and third step, we are getting T in the top of the stack, and this is your input string needs to be passed. Now, again, T will be reduced by E, because T is also handle and E is your start symbol. You just see. T is your handle, E is your start symbol, T is your handle, F is your handle, ID is your handle, like this thing. Because why F is your handle? Because ID can be reduced by F, F can be reduced by T, and T can be reduced by E. This is the thing. That is why ID, F, T, all are the handles. Now, next one, just E has been come. Now the next input symbol to be parsed is plus. It is shifted to the stack. Plus is not your handle. Now ID. ID has been shifted and ID is your handle. That is, ID will be reduced by F. F will be reduced by T. Okay. Here actually we are not reducing T by E, because in that case it will be problematic. We are just, what are we doing? We just see T followed by next input symbol to be parsed is star. Then ID is coming. Now ID is the handle. ID will be reduced by F, and you just see T star F can be considered as a handle, and it will be reduced by T. That is why we are just shifting here, actually we are not reduce T by E, then it will be difficult for you to go to the next one, because what are you getting? E plus E, and E plus E is a handle. E plus E is not your handle, and you can not proceed further. That is the things here, and that is why you have to just put T, then followed by the next input symbol star, then ID, and finally what are you getting? T star F, and T star F will be reduced by T. Now E plus T is your handle, and it will be reduced by E, and E is your start symbol. That is why you just see your start symbol in the stack, and no input symbol needs to be parsed further. That is, this is the acceptance states of your parser. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Now, next one. What may be the conflicts occurs during the SafeReduce parsing? There are some context-free grammars for which SafeReduce parser cannot be used. Because I'm just telling you why. Stack contents and the next input symbol may not be able to decide the action. And in that case, it will be shift reduce conflict or reduce conflict. Shift reduce conflict and reduce conflict. For example, Isa, I have sent in your WhatsApp. You just send it to everybody.
Yes, sir.
Two things I have sent you. Uh, for example, I'm just showing you why this conflict may occur. Just see, your grammar is like these things. For example, suppose your grammar is like these things. E produces E plus E, what I have sent you. E produces E star E. Followed by now, if your input string needs to be parsed is like these things, ID plus ID star ID. And this is your grammar. In that case, what you will do, initially this may be handled. That what you will do, that handle will be reduced by ID will be reduced by E. It's okay. Now this may be your another handle. Next step, just ID will come, and in the next step what you will do, you will reduce ID by E. Next, your input symbol is star. In that case, you just see some conflict may occur in that case, whether you will shift star in the stack or whether E plus E will be reduced by E. This is basically maybe example of shift reduce conflict. Okay, for example, you just option is shift. That means you have put star. No problem is there. Next, your handle is ID. Now, what you will do? E plus E star ID, and in the next step, ID will be reduced by E. E star E. Now tell me, which one be your handle? This one or this one? That is E star E is your handle, E plus E is your handle, both. Here what how do you identify which handle needs to be used first? That is, which handle needs to be reduced first. This concept is, this is basically, this problem is reduce parsing, reduce conflict. First I have shown you, in that case E plus E, whether E plus E will be reduced by E or whether star will come. This is basically shift reduce conflict, and here actually you are getting reduce conflict. This conflict may occur in case of shift reduce option. Is it okay? Are you understanding what example I am giving you? পৌলমি বুঝতে পেরেছিস?
স্যার লাস্টের পোরশনটা একবার বলুন।
যেমন কোন যাচ্ছে না। You just see here, this is your grammar and you want to parse this string with the help of the shift reduce parser. ID is your handle, because you just see, as per this production rule, ID is your handle. ID has been shifted here in the stack. Now ID will be reduced by E as per this production rules. Now plus has been shifted. In the next step, ID also has been shifted, and now ID becomes your handle, and ID may be reduced by E also. Now in the stack, what are you getting? You are getting E plus E star, E plus E star not yet come. That means up to this it has been passed. Now either star will shifted to the stack or E plus E will be reduced by the handle. That is, E plus E will be reduced by E. This is a situation where either you can shift or you can reduce. And in that case, this is an example of shift reduce conflict. Suppose you have chosen the action shift. Okay, you have shifted star, then you have shifted the next ID, this ID, And now you just see ID will be reduced by E. Now stack becomes empty because nothing up to this has been passed. Stack, not sorry, input string needs to be passed is empty, and stack contains E plus E star E. Now you tell me either E plus E can be taken as the handle or E star E can be taken as the handle. That is either E plus E will be reduced first followed by E star E, or E star E will be reduced first followed by E plus E is the things. And this is basically known as reduce conflicts. What you will do now? That means two conflicts may occur in the shift reduce parser. One is the shift reduce conflict, another one is the reduce conflict. Now tell me what to be done here. Now I think this concept is clear.
Yes, sir.
Now, in order to overcome this concept, that is conflicts during the shift reduce parsing, two techniques can be used. First one, you just see here. In this grammar, example grammar, E plus E produces E plus E plus E star E, E produces E and E produces ID. This is basically an ambiguous grammar. In that case, already I have shown you how to just remove the ambiguity of this specific grammar. Besides this, you can use another technique, that is another type of the shift reduce parser, that is known as the operator precedence parser. Operator precedence parsers. And all we know, I am showing you what is operator precedence parser. But the concept is that here actually you just see there are two operators, plus is there and star is there. If star has the higher precedence than plus, in that case, in the operator precedence grammar, E star E will be reduced first and E star E will be reduced by E. Now next one, E plus E will be reduced. That means as per the precedence relation, which operator has the higher precedence will be reduced first. In that way, you can also overcome this conflict, reduce conflict. This can be done with the help of the operator precedence grammar. Let us see besides this, actually, that means you have to remember one thing. Shift reduce parser are of two types. Just listen carefully. Shift reduce parser are of two types. One is the operator precedence grammar that I am going to discuss right now, and another one is the LR grammar. LR grammar I will discuss later on. LR grammar, here you just see left to right scanner, that is a LR grammar, and in that case you will be able to identify LR Craig grammar. That means you just be able to identify as per the rules. Next, k number of input symbols needs to be passed. And LR grammar can be divided into four categories. One is the SLR grammar. SLR grammar means simple LR grammar. In that case, just one symbol at a time, like these things. Concept of the shift reduce quite similar to these things. SLR simple. LR is just little bit of modified version of the SLR. Next one is the LALR grammar. That means intermediate form of the LR parser. That is LALR means look ahead LR parser. This is the three different category of the LR grammar. And remember these things, that any ambiguous grammar can never be a LR grammar. That means again I am repeating these things. That means shift reduce parser can be divided into two types of category. One is the operator precedence parsing and another one is the LR parsing. And LR parsing may be SLR, LR as well as LALR. These are the things. And one thing you must remember, that any ambiguous grammar cannot be parsed with the help of the LR grammar. Now, you just see operator precedence grammar is basically simple, but it works basically small class of grammar, mainly where operators are there. As per the name, you can understand. That means it basically deals with the production rules containing, that means related to the expression like these things. In that case, operator precedence parser is used. And LR parser, you just see SLR, canonical LR, and LALR. SLR means simple LR parser, as I told you. Canonical LR means general LR, and LALR. Both of these three are working in the same nature, but just little bit of changes in the parsing table. Now see operator grammar or operator precedence grammar. What is operator precedence grammar? It's small but an important class of grammars. Small but an important class of grammars. We may have an efficient operator precedence parser, that is a type of the CPREDUCE parser for an operator grammar. In an operator grammar, no production rule can have epsilon in the right hand side and two adjacent non-terminals at the right hand side. Two adjacent non-terminals at the right hand side. Here, you just see, really, problem is, let me just. Enable these things. How this can be enabled and how to just do the editing.
Sir, maybe insert mode can help.
Yeah, let's see. It's not working. It is not working. We just see here, but I will see later on. Not. There are three grammars are there. You just see, actually it has been coming in same way, that is why.
Can you please open this in administrator mode? It may help also. Opening this file in administrator mode.
You just see, is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yeah. Just here there are three grammars are there. This is one grammar. And this is another grammar. Three grammars are there. Just see carefully. Or better you just write the grammars. Write down the grammars. First. One is the E produces AB. A produces small a, B produces small b. That is capital A produces small a and capital B produces small b. Another one is the E produces EOE, or E produces ID, and O produces plus, star, plus or star or division, like this thing. And another grammar is E produces E plus E, or E star E or ID, like these things. Now, as per the grammar and as per the as per these things, you just tell me which one is the operator grammar and which one is the non-operator grammar. That means you just see these are the true criteria for this operator grammar. First one, there should not be any epsilon in the right hand side and two adjacent non-terminals at the right hand side. Here you just see in the first grammar, E produces AB and capital A produces small a and capital B produces small b. This is not operator grammar, but why? Why? First two grammars are not the operator grammar. Why the third grammar is the operator grammar? Tell me. Just anybody tell me why first two grammars are not the operator grammar and third one is the operator grammar? Are you understanding the question?
In first there is like two adjacent non-terminals.
Yeah, E produces AB, two non-terminals, two adjacent non-terminals. In the second grammar also, E produces EOE. O is your non-terminal here also. Although there is a production rule like this thing, that is O produces, non-terminal produces these things. But as per the grammar rules, E produces EOE. This is also two adjacent non-terminals. And here in the third grammar, you just see there is no adjacent non-terminals. One operator is in between these two non-terminals. And that is why third grammar is the operator grammar. Clear?
Yes, sir.
That means this type of question may come. Check whether this grammar is an operator grammar or not, like these things. In that case, you have to remember these two rules. Either you first check whether there is some epsilon in the right hand side of the production, any of the production. If this is not an operator grammar, or two adjacent non-terminals, there should not be any two non-adjacent. There should not be any two adjacent non-terminals. Right hand side. Now, precedence relation in case of operator precedence grammar. Pre-disjoint precedence relation. Here you just see A has less precedence than B, and that is, or you can say B has higher precedence than A. This symbol should be dot should come here in the just equal sign, top of the equal sign, not here. And this is B has the same precedence as A, and here B has lower precedence than the things. B has higher precedence than A, or A has lower precedence than B. A and B have equal precedence, and here A has higher precedence than B, or B has lower precedence than A. Now, the determination of the correct precedence relation between terminals are based on the traditional notions of associativity and precedence of operators. Mostly we know. And unary minus causes some problem here. That means minus B in that case. Whether unary minus has higher precedence than the other precedence operator, let us see. The intent of the precedence relation is to find. Are you understanding why I am trying to, or why we are trying to understand the precedence relation? Because you have seen in your reduce conflict E plus E star E. In that case, if star has higher precedence, then E star E will be reduced first, followed by E plus E, like these things. And that is why we are bothering about this operator precedence graph. The intention of the precedence relation is to find the handle of the right sentential form. That is, we will see these things. Less than precedence with marking the left end, equals precedence appearing in the interior of the handle, and marking greater than precedence in the marking the right hand side. And in the string, that is A1, A2 dot 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 N, we insert the precedence relation between the pairs of the terminals. That means we will insert precedence relation among dollar and A, among dollar and A1, among A1 and A2, among A2 and A3 in this way. AN and dollar, like these things. That means precedence relation holds between the terminals in that pair. Here you just see the partial operator precedence table for this grammar. Just see as per the precedence relation. ID and ID, we are not, right now we are not bothering about the precedence, but you just see ID has higher precedence than plus, ID has higher precedence than star, ID has higher precedence than dollar. Dollar has basically has the lowest precedence. Plus has less precedence than ID. Here plus has, if there are two plus symbols in there, in that case we will consider about the left to right. That is, plus has higher precedence maybe, plus has higher precedence than plus has less precedence than star, and plus has higher precedence than dollar. Star has less precedence than ID, star has greater precedence than plus, left to right, star has greater precedence than star, and dollar has the lowest precedence. You just see here actually if you insert the precedence relation among these terminal symbols, star dollar must be there for starting and dollar must be there at end. Dollar and ID, you just insert the precedence relation as per the precedence you just see. ID and plus, you have inserted one precedence relation. Plus and ID, you have inserted another precedence relation. ID and star, you have inserted another precedence relation. Star and ID, you have inserted another precedence relation. And ID and dollar, you have inserted another precedence relation. Now, you just see how to get these things. That means to find the handles. Scan the string from left end until the first greater precedence is encountered. Then scan backwards to the left and over any equals precedence until a less than precedence is encountered. The handle contains everything to the left of the first, that is in between greater precedence and less precedence. These are the handles. As per these things, you just see. This is also problematic. That example is also just see also. This is the things. Basically, this is the another grammar is there. But I'm trying to explain these things because this is not editable. Just a minute. Wait.
Hello.
बोल रहा हूँ क्या हुआ?
क्या यार अभी यहाँ भी हो, क्लास में भी हो और कॉल भी कर रहे हैं, यहीं बोल रहे थे।
क्या हुआ राहुल, क्या बोलना चाहते हैं?
नथिंग ब्रो। ऐसे ही रवि को बोल रहा था। ईशा,
हाँ
एक बार सर को मैसेज करो ना,
सर।
पूछो कि क्या
हाँ सर
क्लास होगा।
सर सर बोले थोड़ी देर रुकने के लिए।
हाँ सर वही बोले तो थे, थोड़ा देर के 10 हो गया। ठीक
मैंने
है।
फोन किए थे, सर बोले थोड़ी देर रुकने के लिए।
अच्छा अच्छा। कोई क्लास रिकॉर्ड कर रहा है क्या? क्लास रिकॉर्ड कोई कर रहा है क्या? तब रहने दो, तब क्या बताए।
Is it visible now? Oh, sorry. Is it visible now?
Yes, sir.
यस सर।
यस सर।
Yeah. Problem is that there is a problem in my net connection, and also you see the way it is showing, you are unable to understand these things. These are the things. This is why nothing is understandable. Just see. Now to find the handles, you just see scan the string from the left to right, as I've told you, until the greater than symbol is encountered. Then scan backwards to the left over any equals to symbol or until a less than equals to symbol is encountered, and handle contains everything to the left to the first greater than and to the right of the less than symbols. That means anything in between that greater than symbol and less than symbol is your handle. You just see. Right now you will be able to understand. Very easy. This is your handle. Now this is your handle and this is your handle. And accordingly, you just do. Just as I put the precedence relation in between these things, and these are the handles, and that handles will be reduced. And in this way, we may overcome the situation what we have seen in the shift reduce portion. Is it okay? Are you understanding these things? Or see these things carefully? Do you have any class now?
No, sir.
এখন আছে ক্লাস না নেই? ওকে,
No, sir.
একটুখানি এটা পড়ানো যেতে পারে। Okay. Now you just see that is to find the handle. This is first one. Then what is the algorithm for the operator precedence parsing? Input string is your $. That means $ is your end of string markup, and initial stack contains $. And a table holds a precedence relation among the certain terminals. Like these things we have seen is the table holding the precedence relations among the terminals of the symbols. Now, set P to point to the first symbol of your input string W, and repeat forever if $ is on the top of the stack and P points to the $, then return. That means all the string has been parsed. Else, if A is the topmost terminal symbols on the stack and B with a symbol pointed by the P, and now if A has lesser precedence than B or A has the equal precedence than B, then push B onto the stack and advance P to the next input symbol. This is basically shift. Again, that is A is the topmost A be the topmost terminal symbol on the stack and B be the symbol pointed by the P. That is the B is the symbol which is in the string. Now, if A has lesser precedence than B or A has equal precedence than B, then push B into the stack, that is shift operation, and advance P to the next input symbol. Now, else if A has precedence than B, then pop the stack and reduce these things. And how will proceed? Repeat forever and until that is top of the stack terminal is related by less than symbol to the terminal most recently popped. In this way, you will proceed. Or it is not matches, then it will be gives up error. This is basically algorithm for the operator precedence parsing. Anything you want to ask me about the operator precedence parsing? Or you have understand the concept right now, till now? Hello, are you there? কিরে মধুমা কি বলতে চাইছিস?
Yes, sir.
Everybody has understand the concept, the precedence relation among the terminals and how operator precedence parser works.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Am I not properly audible? I am getting your response in delayed time.
No, sir, you are audible.
You just see here the same thing, the explanation using the operator precedence parsing algorithm with the help of the stack concept. You just see initially stack contain nothing, and this is your input string which needs to be parsed. Now you just see This is the top of the stack, and this is the next input symbol to the parse. That is, this is A and this is B. As dollar has lesser precedence than ID, in that case, that is A has less precedence than ID, it will be shift. Now, this is the current input symbol on the top of the stack, and this is plus. Okay. That means A has greater precedence than ID. In that case, what will be that A has greater precedence? Sorry, A has greater precedence than B, that is ID has greater precedence than plus. In that case, reduce, that is ID will be reduced by E. And this will not be shown. Once reduced, it will not be shown in the stack. This has been reduced. Now again, dollar and plus. Dollar has less precedence than plus, that is plus will be shifted here. Now plus and ID, again plus has less precedence than ID, that is ID will be shifted here. Now ID and star, ID has greater precedence than star, that means it will be reduced. E produces ID. Now plus is there, and here you just see star. Plus has less precedence than star. In that case, that is A has less precedence than B, star will be shifted here. Now, star and ID. This is A and this is B. In that case, also A has less precedence than ID, that is B. Then it will be shifted again. Now, ID and dollar, you just see ID has higher precedence than dollar. That means ID will be reduced. This is the things. Now, star has higher precedence than dollar. Again, it will be reduced by E produces E star E. And now plus has higher precedence than dollar. It will be reduced by E star E. And at the end, there is no input symbol in the stack. That means stack contains dollar. And the input string needs to be parsed also dollar. That means all the strings, all the input symbol has been parsed. This is your accept stage. I think you have understand this concept as per this algorithm. Sorry. Yeah, as per this algorithm. Okay. Today I will stop here. Now next day I will show you first how to create the operator precedence relation, and then we will start basically not LR parser right now. I will discuss something about the top-down parser also, and later on we will come back to the LR parser. And if possible, I may take one class on Sunday. Tomorrow is not possible for me, but as I missed one class in this week, I may take one class on Sunday. I will inform you about this.
Okay, sir. And what will be our mid-sem syllabus?
Your mid-sem I will take on, I think, 7th of May. Okay, that is not this Monday, the next Monday. And whatever will be covered in the up to next week, that will be in your mid-sem syllabus. Tigana? Whatever covered up to next week, that will be in your mid-sem syllabus.
Okay, sir.
क्या होगा, सभी तो एक ही आंसर आएगा ना. Yeah, Rahul, you want to say anything?
No, sir.
Okay. If possible, I am telling you again, if possible, I will take the class on Sunday, otherwise Monday as usual time. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.